Riona Kelly was married with children when her relationship dissolved and her husband left. And around the time of the breakup, her health also took a drastic turn for the worse, which led to hospitalization. Despite doctors' low expectations, though, Kelly fought through hardships to defy the odds, and now her fortunes have improved. Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. Kelly comes from Halifax in Yorkshire, England, where she lived with her husband once upon a time. During their 14 years of marriage, the couple had 4 children together, who at the time of Kelly's interview were aged 5 to 16. Despite the length of their relationship, it's safe to say that Kelly and her spouse Richard have been through some turbulent times. Indeed, Kelly admitted as much. "Looking back, I was miserable in my marriage," she told the Daily Mirror in August 2017. "But we'd built a life together and had responsibilities." In addition to their emotional ups and downs, Kelly also suffered from physical challenges. To be more specific, a year and a half prior to her separation from Richard, the mother of 4 experienced a car accident. This wasn't the worst physical trauma to befall Kelly, though. That occurred in March 2015 when she suffered a spinal stroke. For those who don't know, a stroke is a condition that the Stroke Association website describes as a brain attack. They happen on occasions when the human brain is deprived of blood, such as if something diverts its flow. As a result, parts of the brain malfunction or die, causing severe damage as a consequence. In Kelly's case, doctors suspected her car accident was the cause of her spinal stroke. "But other than that, I was a fit and healthy woman," Kelly recalled, "and there was no reason why this would happen." She described how the stroke hit at a terrible time. "I was at home one day with Logan. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I fell down a complete flight of stairs," she explained. "Logan had to call for help," said Kelly. Thanks to her youngest son, rescuers transported Kelly to the hospital. But by then, the stroke had already damaged her body. In fact, it paralyzed her below the waist. While she began to recover from that, Kelly's emotions took an additional blow too. This time, it was because of her relationship with her partner. Both Kelly and her then-husband Richard have differing stories about how and when their relationship officially ended. According to various sources, Kelly stated that Richard asked for a divorce 5 days after the stroke. Richard, on the other hand, claims that their marriage broke up just prior to the incident. "I told Riona I wanted a divorce the morning before her stroke, not while she was in the hospital," Richard said. "While she was in the hospital, I visited as much as I could of an evening. I had to take care of the children, look after the house, and run a business." Whatever the truth behind the situation, one thing's for sure: Kelly felt abandoned. "After suffering a stroke, not only did I have to deal with paralysis, but I had to deal with losing my partner of 14 years, she explained. "After he asked me for a divorce, I was left completely alone. It was time I needed my husband the most," Kelly continued. "The blows kept coming, though, and doctors had worse news for their patient. In fact, Kelly's physicians informed her it would take 6 weeks before she could take her first post-accident steps. Until then, she would be confined to a wheelchair." Understandably, Kelly found her new way of life hard and became very self-conscious. "The first time I went out in a wheelchair, I thought everyone was looking at me," she revealed. "I hated it and I hated myself. If someone had given me a choice, I would have ended my life. I didn't want to live anymore." As a result, Kelly eagerly awaited the day when she could literally get back on her feet again. Despite her best efforts, though, she still couldn't walk when her 6-week review period came around. "It was at this point that doctors told me I would never walk again," Kelly said. This news must have been devastating for Kelly, but she refused to accept it as fact for one reason. "I was determined to do it for my children," Kelly explained. And it turned out that she wouldn't be facing the stroke's aftermath by herself, as she'd initially assumed. She actually had several people in her life rooting for her success. "After my husband left me in hospital, my friend Sarah became my next of kin," Kelly recalled. "It was her and the children that supported me during my recovery. But the other patients on the ward were amazing. I received so much support from them, and they encouraged me to get out of bed every day." So Kelly worked hard to bolster her strength in physiotherapy and prove the doctors wrong. Then, 2 weeks after receiving the prognosis about her limited mobility, the determined patient's efforts paid off. Kelly managed to move her legs again, and with the help of a parallel bar, made some tentative steps. Kelly subsequently described the moment it happened to the media. "I was dragging my body, and I had no feeling in my legs, but I didn't care," she said. "I was walking, and that's all that mattered. My consultant was very emotional. He couldn't believe I'd done it with the help of a standing frame." As a result of her hard work, it wasn't too long before physicians released Kelly. "Every day I built up my strength," she revealed, "and after 4 months in hospital, I was finally allowed to go home. It wasn't easy though." Kelly said it was tough for her to just get down some steps. After posting a request for guidance on Facebook, some of Kelly's friends pointed her in the direction of Keith Mason. If the name sounds familiar to you, that's because Mason's been in the limelight before. In fact, not only has he been an actor, but also spent 14 years as a rugby player. Mason, now 35, lent his talents to 4 different professional Super League teams during his career, playing for the Castleford Tigers, St. Helens, Wakefield Trinity Wildcats, and Huddersfield Giants. In addition, Mason also won several awards, including the Giants Man of Steel Award. He retired from rugby in 2013. Initially, Kelly and Mason struck up a professional relationship as he helped her recover physically. But they developed a deeper connection over time, which endured beyond Kelly's training. "After our sessions, Keith and I stayed in contact," she explained. "He would ask me how I was getting on, and our relationship blossomed from there." "We've now been together for 11 months. The children really like him," Kelly continued. Her Instagram account describes how Mason supports her on an emotional level too, even during her darkest moments. "I don't enjoy being paralyzed one bit," Kelly added. "It's bloody hard. I miss being able-bodied." "I miss running around with my kids and doing things on the spur of the moment," Kelly said. "Feeling warmth on my legs, splashing in puddles with my kids, and feeling the water bounce off my skin. I really miss having the full use of my legs. Silly little things that most of us take for granted." Whenever Kelly's felt down, though, Mason has been around to raise her spirits back up. She said, "As I lay crying, my loving partner just held me and told me how much I inspired him, how much he loved me, and that it's okay to feel frustrated and to cry. He reassured me that he was there for me and how much I meant to him," Kelly explained. "It would seem like the pair are perfect for each other then, and they certainly seem to concur." For his part, Mason thinks that Kelly is the inspirational one in their relationship. "Keith says I inspire him," Kelly revealed, "but he encourages me every day and understands and sees the pain that I'm in. He's been amazing with me and the children, and I love him more each and every day." The recovering mother of 4 has also described how her accident has opened new doors for her. To begin with, she's finished 2 marathons using her wheelchair for support, but that's just the start. She's also accepted an offer to appear in a TV commercial and join the Models of Diversity organization. This group acknowledges the need for different body type, ages, ethnicities, and disabilities in the modeling world. Kelly's mobility has improved a lot since her accident, so for a while she no longer relied solely on her wheelchair. "I now only need my wheelchair to go long distances," she stated, "but my home hasn't been adapted, so I try not to use it." Unfortunately, though, she suffered another setback in 2018. Last night, an unfortunate event happened, Mason wrote on Kelly's Instagram page in 2018. "My partner suffered a stroke. I'm gutted and heartbroken, but I'm going to stay strong for my lady as I've always done. Riona's in stable condition." Mason proved true to his word and stuck by his partner in her time of need. With the support of her family, Kelly healed enough to return home in time for Mason's birthday. She even uploaded a behind-the-scenes video from a documentary she's working on called Driving Force. The footage, which is evidence of a rapid recovery, shows her kicking a bucket with significant force. At least this time around, Kelly knows she's not doing all her fighting by herself. She has Mason and her children by her side, in the good times and the bad. "For a long time, I was a queen fighting alone," Kelly said, "but now I'm not fighting alone anymore. The queen has found a king."